First, there was Harambe. Now there's Peanut the squirrel. But don't forget Fred the raccoon as well. But there's been an update to this story, a serious one. And look, there's also some danger here too, because folks, I need everybody to listen. We all love animals, and again, what happened to Fred the squirrel, or not Fred the squirrel, Peanut the squirrel, was apparently somebody was saying that that there was some, I guess, animal abuse happening, that the squirrel and Fred the raccoon had rabies, and DEC went in there in New York, went in there to find out what's going on, and at least as it stands, that Peanut bit one of the people, and in turn, the animals were immediately taken and then put down. Now, I'm pretty sure there were many ways to test before putting the animals down, like making sure the person who got bit didn't have rabies. Again, Peanut the squirrel's been around for 7 years on social media, had a huge following on social media. And I don't want to be like an armchair general here, but if an animal has rabies, you'll see it. And, one thing on social media is having consistent content. And at least as it stands on TikTok, on Instagram, on all the social media platforms, the owner of Peanut the Squirrel would consistently update and post pictures or videos, of Peanut the Squirrel on its fun adventures. But now this is garnered some attention. So let's talk about it. Who ratted out Peanut the squirrel? Grieving owners have their own theory, and it's a rich one. Peanut squirrel was ratted out by somebody. Who was it? I don't like no snitch. And his upstate owners think it was over jealousy. So I'm going to be very careful with how I word things here, but read between the lines, my lovelies. And Peanut the squirrel could very well tip this election. All right. If the Democrats lose because of a squirrel, I'm laughing. Okay. Mark and Daniela Longo, these are the owners. Okay. Mark being the guy who took care of Peanut, and Daniela is his partner, told the Post on Sunday that they have been cashing in on their furry internet sensation, who helps steer followers to their raunchy OnlyFans page. And again, thank you so much, Cool Blue 71. Yes, we will be enjoying our steak later tonight. Again, but more in it. So they had a very kind of adult oriented kind of page. Okay. Hey, look, in this day and age, you got to hustle and make it by any means. And no, Peanut was not involved. So leave that out of there. Before he was seized from their animal sanctuary and euthanized by the state environment officials over rabies fears last week. The couple's financial success, fueled at least partly by Peanut, may have been enough to drive someone to drop the dime on them and their fluffy-tailed cash cow, they said. While this does sound crazy, I could see, listen, it's an evil world out there, and there are petty people. There are petty, jealous, scumbag rat people out there. Now, Mark and Danielle, they have themselves a little OnlyFans page. Fine. Whatever. Say la vie, God bless, whatever. I don't care. But what I do care about is someone calling the authorities, the state authorities, going into somebody's home and taking away their animals. Okay? Now, they have an animal sanctuary. Now, as it stands, unless something happens, unless there's a big reveal that there was some kind of animal abuse or something else going on here, it is looking abundantly clear that these people were wrongfully attacked and that their property was wrongfully entered and that their animals were taken away from them. Maybe it's someone who thinks I use this place to make a lot of money, Mark said of his rescue farm. Did this do wonders to my OnlyFans? Mark said of the site where Peanut was frolicking along with other animals. Absolutely. It's making a lot of money from this. The Longo said they brought their 350-acre spread near Elmira, which with the $800,000, wow, that's a lot of moolah, that they made in 1 month posting their corn, adult corn, and Peanut then began pulling his own weight with a separate family-friendly fan base. Okay, so they got something for the adults and they got something for the families. Whatever. I don't care. If that, whatever. Listen. And spiteful men trying to make peanut butter. Get up, go see the White House counselor. Go. 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 All right. All right. But continuing on, what's wrong with my audience? Where did my audience learn to talk like this? Continuing on, again, oh, poor Peanut. I'm sorry this happened to you. I had my own Squirrel Dad account, my own Instagram, Mark Logo said, and it's me doing my workouts. And a lot of times, I don't have time to make dual content like I used to. I just tag my Squirrel Dad account from the Peanut video I posted, so it gets double the clip views. He said, every once in a while, a shirtless photo on Peanut's page too. But I completely separate myself from this entire thing. Obviously, people were going to find both and try to associate them. Okay. The Longos made headlines after the State Department of Environmental Conservation raided their upstate spread, Peanut's Freedom Farm. Aw. And grabbed their lovable furry pet and his pal, a raccoon named Fred. R.I.P. to Fred, buddy. We got you, man. We miss you. With both critters euthanized over rabies concerns because they were in close contact with humans. Okay. Now listen. Rabies, if not treated right away, will severely impact the human. Okay. Now, it's clear to me that they had Fred and Peanut for quite some time, especially Peanut, who's been around for 7 years. The couple would be exhibiting signs or either that probably be dead because of rabies. Okay. And rabies can be spread a couple of ways, most notably if an animal bites you, or let's say a parasitic animal like a flea mites, and in turn biting the animal, and in turn those fleas or mites bite a human. Okay. I mean, it can be transferred like that. Yes, it can be. That's a thing. Seen by many as victims of an overreaching state government, the couple have become local heroes. And again, look, man. Okay, what did okay, he's eating a Dunkin' Donut. He's having some Dunkin' Donuts cream or whatever. Okay, that's not rabies. Okay, just so you all know. This morning at the supermarket, I wanted to get a few extra copies of the Post to keep for myself. Longo said, referring to the Sunday's paper, was the frontline page, Bushy Whacked. Oh, that's a terrible title, Post. When I walked in, people recognized my face because I was on the cover of the newspaper, and they just smiled and nodded. Last night, my wife and I went out to dinner. We were having dinner. A couple next to us looked over and said, we're sorry for what happened, and we want you to know that you have our full support. Everyone was just noticing, and then they would tell us, they were sorry about what happened to Peanut. I'm sorry that happened to Peanut. The squirrel's death sparked so much outrage that it prompted a state lawmaker to propose legislation to improve animal rights statutes, calling the bill Peanut's Law, Humane Animal Protection. By the way, PETA, hold on. Let me do a little homework assignment because I should have had this ready for the show. PETA. No, not pita bread. PETA. Did PETA say anything about this? Yo. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. No, you didn't, PETA. Did they really? Hold on, because I just saw a screenshot that could have been fake. Because I've been noticing, hold on, I'm on PETA's page right now, and I'm seeing nothing about Peanut. I'm seeing nothing about PETA. Where are you? PETA? PETA! What? Are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? What did you do? What did you do? Where's the acknowledgement for Peanut, PETA? It's October. Oh my God. Wow. Nothing. 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 Hey. Wow. Hold on. I just got to pull this up here, okay? Nothing. Nothing from PETA, right? Just want to pull this up here because I've been seeing other tweets like this. This is from Patrick Bet David. Am I the only one curious why PETA hasn't said anything about Peanut the squirrel? Hey, PETA, not a single story in your feed about it that the world is talking about. Why not? Do squirrels not count? Interesting. PETA, why so silent? All right. And, Peanut. Oh, Peanut. Peanut. Okay, continue on. The measure would mandate a 72-hour waiting period. Again, that's Peanuts law that the New York State lawmakers implementing. Would mandate a 72-hour waiting period before an animal from a sanctuary can be put to sleep, and creates an appeal system while giving animal refugee sites the right to humane due process. Peanuts' death has sparked backlash from other polls too, from other politicians too. A spokesman for the former governor Andrew Cuomo, who is reportedly eyeing a run for New York City mayor, trolled Governor Kathy Hochul on X over her administration's handling of Peanut. Okay. When no one is minding the store and state agencies are allowed to act with impunity, this is how stuff like this happens, wrote Representative as a party. I think I said his name wrong. This situation should have come across someone's desk in Governor Kathy Hochul's office, and someone's brain should have stepped in. Justice for Peanut. Upstate U.S. Representative Mark Molinaro wrote, "As a pet owner, I feel for the Longos, and I'm calling for Governor Kathy Hochul to issue an official apology for the ridiculous overreach." The GoFundMe.com page for Peanut has raised more than $132,000. Neither Hochul's office nor the DEC responded to requests for a comment from the Post on Sunday. Now, listen. Because people are easily triggered, I want everyone to understand something, okay? And hear me out. This has caused people to kind of go a little crazy, all right? And I don't support this, and I'm pretty sure the owners don't support this either. Peanut the Squirrel's death sparks bomb threats as officials work from home. So again, there's been threats that have been made to New York State officials of the people who euthanize Peanut the Squirrel, leading employees being given the option of continuing their duties remotely. Oh man, this is Harambe on steroids, man. This is the Harambe thing on steroids. But by the way, don't forget Fred the raccoon. Fred, we love you. We still acknowledge you, man. So, yes, our top, again, one DEC employee wrote, "Our top priority is safety and well-being of our employees. As you are aware, there have been a number of threats towards the DEC and our staff in recent days, and we are taking these extremely seriously, including by coordinating closely with New York State Police." Folks, please be reasonable here. Please be reasonable here, okay? And by the way, um, I'm not going to not going to be reading the headline, but there is something from TMZ as well that I want to share with you guys. Now, Mark, again, continuing on with the fact there's controversy with his OnlyFans page with his partner. Mark Longo says he's not using the tragedy and controversy surrounding Peanut's Squirrel to drum up subscriptions to his adult page. Peanut's owner joined us on TMZ Live Monday and told us he thinks his OnlyFans is the reason his farm got raided in the first place. Mark says authorities asked him if he had any cameras in the house, a strange question to ask if they were there only because he broke the law or harboring two undomesticated animals in Peanut and Fred the raccoon. Instead, Marks believes someone who had an issue with him shooting adult fun times with his wife. Again, okay, hey, look, to each their own, privacy in their own home, and separately babysitting some of their neighbors' kids, complained about him to the authorities, leading to last week's raid. So, listen, from everything that's being compiled here, from everything that we're seeing here, I think I could understand what happened, okay? Because there's a lot more to this story. They had a rescue farm with animals. They had Fred the raccoon and Peanut the squirrel, and they did have an adult page. Okay, fine. Whatever people do in the privacy of their own homes, fine. But if it's turning out to that they also were like involved in the community, maybe, participated, were at family events too. Maybe there might have been somebody there that was easily triggered by their success, or possibly just didn't like what they were doing with animals or having adult fun time, whatever, and probably decided to be a real prick and come after them. Now, I'm just speculating in my brain here. Again, this story's still developing. But the fact that this story has gained so much national headlines and is now also involved in politics, because let's be clear here, the great state of New York, like Illinois, is a Democrat central hub. And who's the current governor? Governor Kathy Hochul. And right now, Democrats in the state of New York, they've been overreaching. And because of this, by proxy, a lot of conservative lawmakers, Republicans, right-leaning libertarians have been calling out this is a massive overreach. Now, Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon should not have been put down. It has been very devastating. I actually watched their interview that they did on TMZ. Now, I can't play that video because we'll probably get copyright strike. But they were very emotional about the loss of an animal. And all of you in my live stream audience have talked about here and there, watching Hard Lens Media, like, hey, my animal passed away. And it's a very emotional thing to lose. And plus, Peanut was around their lives for like 7 years. That's a devastating loss. And if this was really done by somebody maliciously coming after them, trying to upend their, not only their family and their, their state of peace, this is very brutal. And there's been a failure amongst all the state agencies. This is just another chapter in the 2024 election cycle. We'll see how this all plays out. But my theory is this: somebody was jealous, possibly, at least this is how it's being perceived. Somebody was jealous. Now, again, to quote the great Cat Williams, because remember,
all lies will be exposed.
Okay? At least how this is playing out in my mind. All of you, please add in your 2 cents. Somebody was jealous. Somebody got petty. Maybe somebody hated them. Hey, there are mean, vindictive people out there. I know. But this guy, this husband and wife lost their animal. And I'm very sorry for their loss. Okay? Mark's theory, officials use the animals as a way to get into his home to dig up dirt on his adult business with his wife. Okay? Well, who did it? Who made the call? Who made that decision? Who decided that was a good thing to do? I'm sorry for the loss of Peanut. I think we're all very sad by it. But I think I'll end this commentary with a question to you, my audience. Did you have the death of a squirrel on your bingo card that would somehow impact the 2024 election cycle? Type 1 for, oh yeah, Kit, I'm being serious. Yes, no, I did. I had it on there. After everything we saw in 2020, be ready for anything. You said keep your head on a swivel. Type 2, no, I did not. But I need to keep my head on a swivel now more than ever. I wonder how many 1s or 2s will be in the chat. Be honest. Be honest here. But RIP Peanut the Squirrel. And I do hope that we get to the bottom of this and figure out just what the hell happened. Because this has been a massive failure, but also how this sparked so much national attention. And again, I got to give a quote to my good friend, Dr. Nick, who watches the show. He's on Kick. The deaths of the squirrel, this squirrel has garnered more attention and sympathy than what we've been witnessing in regards to political corruption, brutality in the wars in Gaza and Ukraine. So this really says a lot about the mindset of the media, people here in this country here too. There's a lot of things to factor in on here. All lies will be exposed, my lovelies. Stay tuned to Hard Lens Media.
Now what you're following, that's idolatry, that's just fake. And all that wallowing that you tolerate, that's not faith. The kings of colony watched autonomy make our graves. The kings of colony know no policy, only rape. Now once you fall asleep, it won't bother you what they say. But the kings of colony, while they slaughter, they still complain. And we say, please color me, still too solemnly, still too plain. All hail economy, praise the pharmacy, seas in flames. They're buying up Hawaii, and the smoke's not even cleared. Those vultures smelled the fire and an enterprise appeared. Investment opportunities were melted down, communities leave vacant space BlackRock has been lusting for years. The council meets in private and they don't discuss survivors. Concerns among construction groups are all Lahaina hears. They'll wander through your city with this mocking sword of pity next to Oprah and her camera crew who tore the Trail of Tears, where footage flows as freely as the stream of liquid steel. steel and the pools of pure aluminum that trickle down your wheels. And Biden's here to say he knows exactly how it feels, cause he had a kitchen fire once and had to miss a meal. And people still believe that piece of shit deserves your vote, like he's not why supplies are being smuggled in by boat, like he's not why our citizens were forced to stay and roast. And he can't unfreeze your funding, folks, cause Azov needs it most. I'll bet my every dollar Biden watched it with a smile. I'll bet he knows the whereabouts of every missing child. He's just the kind of man who lives to trample something tribal, collecting culture's corpses just to throw them on the pile. Like he and all his buddies didn't dream about the day when those who dared defy the donor class were cleared away, when home insurance triples and you can't afford to stay, and your land falls to the hands of those whose windfall fan the flames. The state will take Lahaina and they'll bastardize its name, and tourism will swarm it all the same. You see, the state we left Lahaina shows the ground rules of the game, the planes that in the night ignite the planes. And if questions raised that reckon the potential use of lasers, I suggest you take a closer shave by way of Occam's razor. And if those civilians stood between this country and its gains, then there's really nothing further to explain. Because you may know this already, if you truly know our past, but it ain't the first occasion and it will not be the last, where Americans are kettled in and made to bear the blast, are barricaded in and left for ash. How many in Lahaina now are lying there awake and still can hear the city we left leveled in our wake? They still hear all the people that we let the fire take, instructed from above to stay in place. So look to the horizon, cause a fire comes for you. Desire made incarnate of the power-hungry few, who instructed the police to not let anybody through, to barricade them in, and so they do.